Hi, welcome to Trinity Update. I'm Suzanne Dowdy, and my guest may be a familiar face if you look at Trinity Update all the time. This is Kim Belmonte from the ALTA Association, which is the Adult Literacy Tutors Association, a non-profit organization that many of you might know about, and maybe you don't. Kim, thanks for coming back again.
Thank you.
And I was just telling Kim before the program began that, we try to, as Trinity TV, highlight ALTA every year, if not twice a year, because we all think that what you do is so important. And as I was saying to her, it's not only about teaching people to read and write at an adult level, but it's about fighting crime too, because when you have adult people who can't read or write or can't read or write properly, then they feel that they're at a disadvantage, and the only thing to do is perhaps get involved in a gang or something where you feel like I'm somebody. So you all are doing wonderful work. We congratulate you.
Thank you so much.
So we always have to start with those people out there who are saying, ALTA, I never heard about that. Maybe you could give us a little background.
So ALTA is, as you mentioned, the Adult Literacy Association, and we teach adults to read and write. So we take students from 16 plus, and the classes are free. The classes are free.
Yes.
So they just need to come. We have already, since the organization has started, there have been about 14,000 students passing through.
Wow.
Not all of them complete the course.
Yeah.
Or complete and of course that's understandable. As adults, they have responsibilities.
That's right.
Because some of them who come to us, their parents, their grandparents, some of them have their own businesses, and so they have to divide their time.
Yes.
And I just want to encourage at this point, as I'm saying that, if there's students out there who maybe stopped coming to class and you want to start back, feel free to come back in, find the venue where you were at and come back in. Yeah. Or just call the office and see,
yes.
They can call and just get back in.
Now, does the ALTA course or program go in conjunction or parallel to the regular school system? Like you have terms like beginning in September, that kind of thing?
Yes, we have terms.
Yeah.
And what we do is we actually have registration the first week of the regular school term.
Yeah.
We don't have classes that week because as I mentioned before, some of our students are parents, so they would be preparing their children for that first week of school.
Yeah.
So we have registration during that week.
So that's like the first week in September?
That's the first week in September.
Right.
So we have registration, but we start classes the following week. But right through the year, we accept students. If they are willing to come, they come and they get assessed, and they will be able to join a class. Maybe they have to wait till the next cycle, or get a little extra tutoring on the side. And all our tutors are very patient and they're kind. They're all volunteers. And I remember we had a training recently, maybe last year. We had our general meeting, and our founder, Paula Lucy Smith, she mentioned that it's not so much about IQ, but it's about EQ. It's about the heart.
Yes.
It's emotional intelligence that we're looking for in recruiting volunteers as tutors, because understandably they have to have the patience. Our students need for that one-on-one.
Right.
So you can't be, I told you that already.
Yes.
Because we don't know why they are non-readers at the age that they're at. We suspect that there are maybe some learning disabilities, maybe their home situation may have caused it, maybe even in school.
Yeah.
Sometimes our teachers in school, they pressure the students so that, you're not doing good.
Yeah, and especially when they have large classes.
And then that's discouragement. We were talking a little before we came on air that some students fall through the cracks, because of the size of the class.
Yeah.
So, we try to help in that regard, because when you learn to read, it empowers you.
Of course.
And it's not just reading, but it's writing as well, and they're given the opportunity of sharing that.
And you have places, schools, classrooms set up all over Trinidad and Tobago?
Yes, yes. So we have where, I mean, Trinidad has, the Society of Trinidad has been so very good to ALTA that we have community centers, we have classes in various schools, so that when students come to a class, it's not like everybody knows that you're going to an ALTA class.
Yes, yes.
You know, we do have classes at the ALTA office, but it could be that they're just going to a regular class. I remember a student maybe, you know, we like stories, right?
Yes.
So I remember a student maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, and he was moving to another level.
Right.
So he was saying, oh, you know, we have level 1, level 2, and level 3. Now, the level 3 is really for students who want to do exams. They want to
they're serious about
yes, they're serious about their reading and writing. They're serious about English, and they want to do English as an exam, maybe the CXC or CSEC. And I remember one student, he was interested, very interested, and he says, so where are the venues? So he said, well, there's one in UE St. Augustine, and there's one here, and there's one there. And he says, UE St. Augustine? Yes, I'm choosing that venue. So when I'm telling them I'm going to class at UE, you know, so that was cute because, you know, for us, it gave him encouragement as well, you know.
I'm sure you have lots of success stories.
Oh, we do, we do. So some of the students who complete, well, I shouldn't say some, most of them who complete, they get better jobs, they get higher salaries.
Of course.
You know, they're more respected. Some of them change jobs because they're now empowered to read, and they feel that they can do something differently. You know, and I mentioned before literacy and intelligence. They're not the same thing. A non-reader doesn't mean that the person is a non-thinker. And some of our students are so intelligent, and we try to tell them that even though you don't have this skill of reading, you are so smart.
Yes.
You know, and some of them have their own businesses even before they come to ALTA. So they sell.
It shows you how smart they are.
Of course. They may not be able to read or write, but they can count. But of course, the reading and writing helps them in the business. Some of them have family businesses, and it just gives them that extra push. It gives them that extra push.
Now, I know we can come back to more about ALTA, but knowing the time we have, I'd like to hear about the event that's coming up.
So yes, so we have an event called Reading Under the Trees. About 2 years ago, ALTA celebrated 25 years, and we had this event as a signature event. And now it's on our calendar as a regular event because it was so successful.
Right.
So for this event, we ask our students and our tutors to share a reading that they have, but we've also asked published authors to come on board. And for that first event 2 years ago, we had really a lot of published authors came on. Barbara Jenkins, Lisa Allen Agostini, Ira Mathur. They came on and they have continued with us.
Good for you.
And we have some new authors. So our students get to meet published authors.
Yes.
And some of them even have that dream to write their own book because of their own stories. And we encourage them. Of course, yes. So they come with their writings and they share. Some of them share their stories. And this is really to, as they say, to chip away at the stigma of low literacy in the country. And
so it's Saturday the 21st of March.
It's Saturday, yes, let me give the details. It's Saturday the 21st of March, which is a couple weeks away.
Right.
And it starts at 2:30, and it's in the Botanical Gardens, and it's a picnic-style event. So
you bring your picnic basket?
Bring your picnic basket, your picnic blanket, bring the whole family. We have a special tree for the children. So don't think that you're just coming to hear some adult stuff. You know, we have a special tree for the children, and we have special children published authors of
Okay.
children's books.
Okay.
So we have Jeananne Alkins, we have Maria Cuffey, and they have exciting books. But it's not only about reading. We have some games for the children. There'll be face
Lovely.
painting. And we also have some spoken word artists. So, you know, spoken word is the new thing. So even if our young people come on, you
So
know,
this
and
is-
it's
this is not a
open for the
fundraiser then?
No, it's
No.
not.
Okay.
It's not. It's open
It's
to the
just-
public. They can come along. And just like with our classes, ALTA published an annual report some years ago. And on the cover, we had like a mosaic of tutors and students. And we would use it as a tool, as we would show people, could you tell who's a student? Could you tell who's a tutor? And you can't. When you look at someone, you can't
They're
tell.
human beings,
You
yeah.
can't tell what skill they have.
Yes.
You can't tell if they have the skill of cooking, if they have the skill of playing chess.
Or whether they can read or write.
if they can read or write. And we encourage our students that way. So when you come to the event, whether you can read or write, whether you're a published author, we're inviting everyone to
Good, good.
come. Don't be afraid, and you can ask more questions.
Okay. Now, what about if we make an appeal for volunteers? You know, let's ask some of our viewers out there who are perhaps hearing about ALTA for the first time. What do you have to do to be a volunteer?
Oh, wow.
And what will be demanded of you, you know, if you say yes?
So being a volunteer requires the person, so you can be a volunteer tutor, or you can be a volunteer reading circle guide. The tutor, for being a tutor, you need to commit that 2 hours for 2 days every week.
Right.
We know that in the school system, sometimes the school system fails our students, which is why some of them end up not being able to read
or
write as adults. And we don't want for that to happen again.
Yeah.
So we don't want that they come to the class and then the teacher is not there.
Yes, yeah.
So we want committed people. We want, and they call for an interview to see if that is a match for them, the time and so on. And we have different venues. We have about 50 venues all over Trinidad.
Right.
So anywhere that you work or anywhere that you live, there's a venue that's close to you. After the interview, there's a very intense training course.
And how long would that training course be?
The training course is about 6 weeks.
But every day? Or?
No, it's not every day.
Okay.
It's
All right.
once. So it's 6 sessions, but it's a full day session. And it is intense. I will share something with you. When I first started, I thought, well, I could read. I love reading.
Yeah.
I could write. I write well. I thought I knew how to teach, how to read. But when you actually do the course, you learn things that maybe we never learned in school when learning to read. So we learn about mnemonics and we learn about the schwa, and these words might be really strange to people. They were new to me. But you learn about different methods, and the ALTA method has worked. We have adopted
it sure has worked.
The teaching method that they use for dyslexics, and that has worked. It's about matching the sound, the phonic sound, with the character that makes that sound. And it, the method works. And we use also the discovery method. So in the teaching, in the training that the tutors receive, they learn how to apply these methods in the classroom. And then, of course, you
very
have...
exciting, especially for somebody who is a retired teacher or something like that, you know.
It is.
And it's just 2 days a week that they would have to commit to. And when you say days, it's a couple hours of the day?
2 hours.
2 hours.
2 hours, 2 days.
2 days, so 4 hours for the week.
4 hours for the week.
Well, I see our clock ticking down. So any last thing you want to say?
Well, anyone who wants to assist, if they can't be a volunteer tutor, or if they just want to assist, they can call the office. They can sponsor a student. Our classes are free for the students. So, of course, there is a cost behind everything.
Yeah, materials and
materials.
That kind,
and so if they want to maybe donate materials, writing
There's
materials,
always
or
some way
anything
they
like
can
that.
help.
But if they want to just donate time, even for an event such as what we have coming up, they can just
and
call.
you can help in any way.
In any way that they can.
Okay, well, I've been talking with Kim Belmonte from the ALTA Association, and for those of you who never heard of ALTA and perhaps this has sparked an interest, please, or if you're thinking of that neighbor down the road who is a retired teacher and says she has nothing, he or she says, you know, they're bored, they have nothing to do, this is an incredible way that you can give back to society. So Kim, thank you for being here with us again.
Thank you
and we
for
thank
having
God
us.
for ALTA. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back we have Mr. Andre Walker, who's going to be talking with us about a CD that he has produced. So don't go away.
Patience.
Hey, reading certain words can be really tricky sometimes. Spelling them too. You see, reading is a skill like cooking. Some are naturally good at it, some are not and need extra help. Good thing there are options out there like ALTA. It won't be easy, but it will be worth it. Would you be interested in finding out more about ALTA?
I'm ready. Tell me more about ALTA.
ALTA has free classes around the country for adults who want to improve their reading, writing, and spelling skills. It's not like the classroom you remember from school. ALTA tutors take their time. They make sure you understand. They'll teach you skills and strategies to improve your reading.
I think this event is absolutely wonderful in terms of what it does, especially for the very young people here. It's a space in which children can work with writers who are now having their works published, such as I have been, as well as writers who have become legends in our country. And I see so many very small children around, and I know that it would be a delight for them and definitely something that they would carry throughout their writing journeys. So I'm glad that ALTA continues this initiative.
With you, and our second guest is Mr. Andre Walker, who has been on the program before, I think a few years ago. And Andre, believe it or not, he doesn't look it, but he has. Is it that you've just turned 80 or you're about to turn 80?
I'm now 81.
You're now 81, okay. So when you're 80, you decided to this project. So he has composed a music video. So Andre, tell me about this project and what inspired you to do this?
I somewhat felt that here am I at 80, going into that last dip in my life, and if perhaps I could do something to help somebody with a word or song.
Yes.
Basically, I've been singing with the greater part of my life, from a boyhood days, through my college years, through the maturing years, and here am I. So I felt it probably would give some meaning,
to somebody's life.
Yes, and to show a kind of a cap to all that I have been about in the course of my years. So the word "If I Can Help Somebody," I quoted,
which is a song we know.
Which is a song everybody knows. I quoted it in a letter I wrote thanking the Public Service Credit Union who honored me for being a founder of the credit union.
Right.
In reading that letter, I said, but this could be a very good title.
Yes, yes.
So I called it "If I Can Help Somebody." And when I looked through the words, just the words alone of that song actually makes the point,
Yes.
Particularly the third verse that says,
You want to read that first?
yes, the third verse of the song says, "If I can do my duty as a Christian ought, if I can bring back beauty to a world upraught, if I can spread love's message as the Master taught, then my living
will not be in vain." Now, tell us about a little bit maybe about your life. How you seem to have a very grateful heart for what God has done in your life and your family.
I think I got this from my mom. She always talked about saying thanks, an attitude of gratitude, even before it became
a word that
current.
is. phrase.
She was always, did you say thanks?
Yeah.
And do you remember, you know, to say thanks?
Yeah.
And albeit today, I'm also saying thanks for another reason. It happens to be the 50th year of my wedding.
Okay.
To my wife.
Well, congratulations
50th anniversary.
to you and to your wife, who I'm sure is looking on.
Yeah, she is looking on. And in that regard, it's like, you know, part of what a value
Yes, yeah.
that I grew up with, and the attitude of gratitude. That largely is.
And that I'm sure you will recognize now in today's world, that is lacking in so many ways. That attitude of gratitude and then appreciation for being married for so many years, or even holding down a job for any length of time. Exactly.
There's so many things that we got to be thankful for, and I definitely I refer to people at every breath I take.
You give thanks.
I have to give thanks.
Yeah.
Every breath, because if He who made us cut that breath, we are history. So every breath, I have to say thanks
for that.
For that.
Now tell me, what is it that you're promoting right now? You have the one song.
The song, well, it's the title song of the CD,
Right.
which is a music video actually.
Right.
But it is encapsulated in this little stick here,
Yeah.
a flash drive.
I find you real up in the modern time, modern
Well,
technology.
indeed, it was suggested to me try to avoid doing CDs. People are not purchasing CDs anymore.
Yes.
Though I know there are some people who would probably like to have a CD in their hands. However, in this there is the music video plus the CD on a playlist of 14 songs.
Okay, so therefore it's not just this one song on the music video.
No,
Okay,
14 songs. And if you play it, you will hear the songs which I sort of it's Jesu Joy of Man's Desiring, My Tribute, which is one of the songs I would have loved to sing at the end of this, but anyhow. God and God Alone, Amazing Grace, the name of my wife, Amazing Grace. The Lord's Prayer, He Touched Me, which is an instrumental with Mr. Felix Roach, who has been my musical director. You Raised Me Up, To Be the Body, by Bishop Clyde Harvey. The Holy City, Heal Our Land.
Okay, all that on it.
Ave Maria, It Is Well With My Soul, which sort of says it.
Yes.
When I've gone under.
It is well with my soul. How long did it take you to pull all this together?
Well, it took the greater part of a 2-year period because I started it before getting to 80.
Yeah.
And then I had to redo it because it was quarter. So this
would not have been an easy project a few years ago, but with today's technology and all that's available.
But I had to work through a lot of hoops because some of the recording originally wasn't right, so I had to do it over. And this is the point in time.
And you had to get a studio to be able to use.
At least one of the interesting places was that they even used my home as a studio to do some of the recordings.
Okay, now people who might be interested in it, how much is it and where is it available?
This is actually, because I offer the first, what do you call the introduction, the introductory, $150.
Right, okay.
If I have to put it on a CD and put it into the normal Actel, it will cost at least $200.
Right. Yeah.
So my invitation to persons is if they wish it at $150,
get it now.
Get it now. But I'm going to try to put it in a package it. I'm looking to do a sort of innovation where when you buy these things, they are normally with a little
some sort of protective.
I'm trying to get that done so that I could incorporate the CV cover and the CD, the back and front of the CD.
Yes, right.
So that it will be something of and it is easy to move around with. It is not going to be scratched. It's a 16 gigabyte flash drive, so that they can add files on it as they wish, other music and so on. So this is the steal of a deal, which a person's buying this. And also, I would like people to know, I intended to give part the proceeds from this to our church at Bugmulatris that I belong to.
Yeah, that's
I
where
sing,
you're parishioner.
Yes, I'm singing all the choirs of the church up
Yes.
there towards the renewing of the pews, replacement of the pews of the church. Right now there's an attempt by Father Tantune, who has been, giving me a lot of support, to replace the church.
Right. Okay.
So this, when you buy this, you're helping to replace.
Now the question is, where do you buy that if you're interested?
683-9502, that's the call number. There would be others, which would be the parish office. I don't want to miscall the number.
Yeah, right. But it's the Bugmulatris
parish at the parish office. I leave that for the...
Yeah, and you're ready to sell if people start calling right away?
If they have it, I have about 10 here, and I still have about 25, but I'm going to do more.
Yeah.
And depending on who would like to get the CD type thing, if I can get a manufacturer who can do that for me, I'll be very glad. I'm making an appeal out there. If anybody has that innovative technology, they can
be able
use
to
this,
package it.
they could package this.
Yes.
I'll be very glad, because it will help me to make it at least presentable for those who want to get that kind of thing. But you would pay $200 for that.
All right. Well, congratulations to you. We have a filler coming up after we say goodbye here, that our viewers at home will be able to see a little bit and hear a little bit of you. So
yes, you have the music video.
Yes,
okay,
so
that's
see a little bit of that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Andre, very much for coming this morning. Thank God that you were able to do this. And as you say, you're in the latter stage of life, but you don't look it. But thank God that you were able to fulfill a dream. I'm sure this was a dream.
Thanks, and thanks to the audience. I forgot to say good morning, and God bless you all.
God bless you too.
Good day.
And thank you for joining us. Don't go away, sit tight, and let's have a look at this filler.
I can help somebody as I pass along. If I can cheer somebody with a word or song. If I can show somebody is traveling wrong, my living shall not be in vain. And my living shall not be in vain. And my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain.